Mob of the Dead is undoubtedly a map that tons of people love within the community, maybe even going as far to say that it is one of the fan favorites of all the Call of Duty Zombies maps. But while this map had an impeccable cast, massive storyline implications, some of which that have still yet to be fully understood, and near perfect scenery for both gameplay features as well as aesthetics within the map, Mob of the Dead was overall just a fantastic map that really graced Black Ops 2 and gave it an air of its own. And with Zombies Chronicles coming out this past week for PlayStation 4 and roughly 30 days later from that point in which it was released for Xbox One and PC users, a lot of people really are wondering, why wasn't Mob of the Dead remastered for Black Ops 3? And that's something that we're going to be taking a look at and diving into a little bit here within this one and talking a little bit about what this could mean for the future. With that said though, we have to keep in mind that this is all just theory and speculation, and none of this is set in stone or confirmed in any way, shape, or form, so bear that in mind, and of course feel free to drop any theories you may have down there in the comments. So I'm sure you've seen the memes of people at sporting events and things like that on the news where they have signs that say Mob of the Dead Remastered or Remaster Mob of the Dead. Of course, those are all good and fun in those jokes, but as for Mob of the Dead actually being a piece of the zombie storyline that people have wanted for a long while, they've theoried DLC 5 containing Mob of the Dead since its very early conceptions of that notion within Black Ops 3. Of course, a lot of people for months on end thought that DLC 5 would be coming. That was something that even back whenever the DLC season was still going on within Black Ops 3, people thought a DLC 5 would be happening. So their theories were churning, they were throwing out maps, putting them up on the dartboard and seeing what would stick, and for the longest time, Mob of the Dead was one of those. Even deeper into when this was closer to actually being officially announced, people still thought Mob of the Dead was going to be remastered. It wasn't up until about a few days or maybe a week before the official announcement came that there was data mined code that denoted what maps would actually be coming in the map pack, excluding Mob of the Dead from that list. So up until right around that point, everybody honestly thought Mob of the Dead could have a shot at coming back. Now, of course, with the list that we have now for Zombies Chronicles and it's officially released, and Mob of the Dead not being on that list of maps that is included, it leaves the question, well, is there going to be something that ever happens with Mob of the Dead again? Because there are still quite a lot of things that haven't necessarily been answered both in the canon storyline released by Treyarch, as well as just some unanswered Easter eggs. And to this day, if I'm not mistaken, one of the most elusive ciphers has yet to be cracked, and that is one that comes from Mob of the Dead. So it's one that a lot of people are still very interested in, and there's of course still some answers that need to be revealed here with this. However, despite it not being something that has officially been released in any capacity just yet, from all the YouTubers that were out in LA to capture early footage, they essentially at one point or another said that BLUNDELL had talked to them about this notion, and that just because we didn't see Mob of the Dead in DLC 5 doesn't mean we won't see it again in the future. And as we've mentioned time and time again here on the channel, Jason Blundell is very cryptic with that kind of stuff, and a lot of the times that might just point towards the idea that we will be seeing this at a future point in time. Now, of course, I don't think this is going to be anything that is a DLC 6. Don't let those rumors and memes start just yet, because that's a little bit more far-fetched than some of the other ideas that we'll touch on here in this video, but this very well could mean that we do see Mob of the Dead return in some capacity at a later point in time. Now, the way that I see this is perhaps going two different ways. One being that it is a pre-order bonus, a pre-order incentive for something dealing with, let's call it Black Ops 4, but essentially the next Treyarch title. Though it's more than likely not going to be a continuation of the Black Ops series, let's just hold that code name here just so it's easier to reference. So that could be one way that it goes, that it's a pre-order bonus or an incentive for that, but I also see that it may very well happen as maybe a collector's edition or a separate entity on its own entirely, not necessarily saying a full game branded as Call of Duty Zombies, but something that is maybe a little bit more standalone like a DLC 5 would be, where you can buy it completely separately, but it is linked to the next Treyarch game in the sense that it is a special edition for the 10-year anniversary of Call of Duty Zombies. Now, of course, both of these are sheer speculation, so take it with a grain of salt, and it's just some ideas to pitch out there, but with something so cryptic as basically saying we're going to see Mob of the Dead return at some point, these are the two things that logically fit the bill the best for me. The giant was that of Derice from World at War and Black Ops, if you want to take Resurrection into account, and it was something that did very well in terms of not only sales, but a lot of people played that tremendously. a ton of people kept on that up until DLC 1, and even further on, it was a very well-received map. So with the success of that, I think that it definitely could be something that a fan favorite already could be remade once again to continue the storyline from what we know thus far and propel it into the stratosphere with the next title. Now, why this would make sense is because Black Ops 3 was kind of this point where we've had kind of mismatches in the storyline and all that kind of stuff. With Black Ops 3, we've kind of taken the ideas set in stone by Jimmy Zielinski and taken the things that BLUNDELL has planted and kind of just made them more uniform. So taking what a lot of people would call a broken storyline across 4 different games and then making them more uniform to fit one specific universe. That was kind of the sole purpose I see looking back at Black Ops 3 now and looking forward to the future a little bit more. With Black Ops 4, once again, the working title, not probably what it's going to be actually called, this could then set up where we go from here and explore a little bit more of the mysteries that are still unanswered from Mob of the Dead, their implications with the blood vials and everything like that, because while there has been some explanation in the canon storyline released by Treyarch, a lot of it still remains under wraps in terms of it makes sense, but it's not fully explained. Now, of course, switching the tide then to a 10-year anniversary, this could be something that makes sense in that regard as well, to remaster either the maps that have not yet been remastered or take them all and put them into one casing and put them all into one DLC. I think that would be absolutely awesome. I feel like, though, if that happened, that would be a kind of hefty price tag on that, but it is perfectly timed for the next Treyarch title to be that 10-year anniversary mark for Call of Duty Zombies, starting from World at War, going all the way up to when, say, once again, a Black Ops 4 happens. Now, of course, Treyarch knows that the community loves this. They've seen all the feedback and all the cries for Mob of the Dead to return in Black Ops 3 and Zombies Chronicles, but with it being released, it's a little too late for that, and now we just look towards the future. And while BLUNDELL mentioned that Mob of the Dead had another purpose, we still don't have any solid information as to what that purpose could be. So what it may entail for the future, that is for time to tell, but all we can do right now is speculate, throw some theories out there, and that is where I want to turn it over to you guys. What do you think about this? Do you think that's something that we will see it in the next Treyarch title, something returning as a pre-order bonus, an incentive like that, maybe something bundled in with a 10-year collector's edition? Whatever it may be, feel free to drop it down there in the comment section down below. Even if you have something completely different out there, feel free to drop it. But hopefully you guys did enjoy. I want to thank you guys so much for the continued support on the videos. You guys have been killing each and every single one of these. So truly, thank you guys so much. It really means the world to me. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying the content. I'm having a ton of fun making it, so thank you guys so much. If you guys enjoyed the video, though, make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Zombies Chronicles, zombies in general, Black Ops 3 multiplayer, Modern Warfare Remastered, Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty World War II, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. But if you guys also want to get connected with me here outside of YouTube, I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to toss a follow to start up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But I'll see you dudes later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Mine has been Nikolai Espresso. Take care and peace.